Hello, how are you? How's it going? We are broadcasting live because urgent information is happening in Venezuela. It's starting to get complicated, repression is increasing, and there are more accusations that at least 7 journalists have disappeared. Now, from what would be the regime of Delcy Rodríguez, there is an accusation from Americans who are also filing a lawsuit. We'll talk about that in a moment, but right now in Venezuela, a state of commotion has been declared. They call it a state of commotion. At this moment in Venezuela, what does this mean? What's happening?
Let's move forward. Let's go.
Forward.
So we can get settled properly. And well, to be able to explain to you that in today's official gazette, in a special edition, the decree of the state of emergency in Venezuela has been published. The decree is published today, Monday, and this is Gazette 6954, and it orders the mobilization of the regime's armed forces. It authorizes the use of all existing potential, speaking about military matters and force. And it puts strategic sectors such as the oil industry and basic services under military control, meaning that the military will basically have control over the entire country. And the text also empowers the executive, meaning Delcy Rodríguez, to restrict free movement, to close the borders, to limit gatherings and demonstrations, and also to requisition property, to issue exceptional economic and social regulations, which is basically what is called in other countries, like what kind of state of what?
Like a state of emergency to Delcy Rodríguez.
Not like a kind of state of emergency. Actually,
this promotion basically, is to militarize the country even more. The situation, is obviously worrying. It was known about the ambition of the Rodríguez brothers for power, and now that they have it, the question is whether they will want to let it go. But, it clearly seems that they won't. It actually looks like they're, closing ranks, getting ready for anything. Meanwhile, in the United States today, a lawsuit is being filed against them. A group of people has been filing a lawsuit using this famous law, racketeer, influenced, and corrupt organizations. A lawsuit against Delcy Rodríguez with very serious accusations, even including narco-terrorism and kidnappings. A series of, lawsuits that are being filed against her right now. And it's clearly starting to show how there's an internal movement in Venezuela to remain sustainable in power so it doesn't collapse at any moment. Obviously, this is already raising red flags everywhere.
Exactly, that's what's being published today. Regarding this lawsuit that comes out in the United States, which would be from Miami, it says, United States citizens accuse them of kidnapping, torture, drug trafficking, and using hostages as bargaining chips. As Pepe noted, the case is under the anti-terrorism law, and it's significant, and it's a measure that treats the regime as a company like organized crime and allows for claims of millions in damages. It's a bearish lawsuit. Interesting. Also, today, interestingly, a lawsuit is being filed from Argentina against Nicolas Maduro. So if it goes through, who's going to do it? I don't see how Nicolas Maduro is going to get away with it since he's in the United States. It's something very complicated, but let's say that after finishing his sentence, he would have to go to Argentina, very similar to what happened with the president of Paraguay of Panama. He serves his sentence in the United States, then goes to France for another sentence. In Argentina, they've also brought charges against him, but not a sentence, a trial.
Exactly. What they do is request that Maduro be sent to Argentina, but obviously until he serves his sentence, they can't send him.
Assuming that Prosecutor Stornelli formally requested Maduro's extradition to try him in Argentina for crimes against humanity.
Then the problems keep piling up for Maduro, obviously, and that was to be expected, obviously, as well. Or on the other hand, is there already a poll about how things are going? Trump's popularity, did it go up, down, or increase for him? There has been a rise to 42% approval, although he is still disapproved of by the majority of Americans. Even so, reaching 42 would be the highest point that Trump has had since he became president.
Exactly. But anyway, today we did see quite a few returning to what is the country of Venezuela. We saw a lot of them. Drivers refer to these groups as the yes.
So these ones that are
collectives, collectives checking people's cell phones. Be very careful.
Yes. An order was issued against everyone who supported the entry of the United States over there in Venezuela, those who applauded it, etc. It was issued, the notice, that they're now going to go after these people. So be very careful if you're in Venezuela. From this acceleration of the repression that's being carried out by Delcy Rodríguez at the front.
Exactly, the atmosphere is very tense, even though it's known that the betrayal comes from themselves. Well, they try to look outside for what they call scapegoats, people who have nothing to do with what happened with this betrayal of Maduro, because really it's them.
Yes, it was something internal. I mean, it was definitely something internal. All the analysts point to Delcy Rodríguez as the group that betrayed Maduro. And well, they try to hold on to power, obviously. On one hand, there are suspicious eyes watching them, but on the other hand, they really do want to keep their hold on power. And that's how it is. It's not an internal power struggle, obviously, but there can be collateral damage that affects the civilian population. Just to say, look, here are these residents who supported the entry of the United States.
Exactly. Well, let's see what reaction the United States will have if it ends up having one of these reactions. Note to journalists, not all are Venezuelans, some are foreigners. Because as you know, Mundo Gonzalez, the president-elect, had already requested it. The first thing that had to be done was to release all the people, all the political prisoners who have been held for more than a year. There
are about 800 political prisoners left to be released. And he said you can't talk about a transition if these political prisoners are still being held. I mean, like saying if Delcy Rodríguez really wants to make or be part of a transition, like she assured Donald Trump that she was going to be part of that collaboration and that change that was going to happen, the first sign would have to be the release of these 800 or nearly 800 political prisoners. If that doesn't happen, does it mean that Rodríguez is simply buying time, like most of us think, just buying time to stay in power?
Today, that's essentially what happens. There are no more people. Right now, the community is being asked that if they see someone being taken, to take pictures and send them to someone abroad so it can be documented. But we'll be very careful with how things are right now because, well, it's not just paranoia. Now it's really at its peak exactly.
Well, let's see how this situation goes. Friends who are watching us live or later, please stay alert. If you live in Venezuela, send us a message. I know several of you have been doing it. Thank you very much for reaching out and sending us updates. So, how do you see the situation? Those of you in the United States are also giving us your opinions on this whole topic. And right here, even here in Mexico and Colombia, there have been a series of debates. Today, Petro also comes out to basically to tell Trump that he is ready for them to come for him. Also getting intense when sending his opinions toward the United States.
Exactly, well, right? Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to comment on something, but oh well. Guys, remember that we're on Telegram, we're on WhatsApp. That's where we send you notifications about the live streams. And well, we're also on Facebook and X and also on Instagram. So, so you can stay informed about the latest things happening in the world. Greetings, Mauro. Greetings.
Greetings, Mauro. Very good greetings. Yes.
I'm concerned it may go against the population since that appears to be their intent. Mauro, in fact,
that's the risk. It might start and we're already seeing it, right? The issue, as you say, of the groups, like we've been seeing the detention of journalists.
Yes, because the order is for the groups. CDIM-DG and DGCIM, the National Guard and Police, are ordered to check phones on the streets to find any evidence of support for the capture of Nicolas Maduro. I mean, basically anyone can ask for your phone and check it. What have you shared? What have you liked? Your conversations with your friends, relatives, and so on. I mean,
it's exactly what they want. I mean, what's the next step? Because if they're accelerating the repression even more, it means they're planning something. Yes, I mean, something is going to happen, and they want, well, for there to be no record. That's what they want, for people not to record, not to take photos, not to delete everything, so that, well, they can operate however they want.
Exactly. Greetings, Jose. Why? Greetings.
How have you been, Jose?
Yes, Jose says it's to hinder the negotiations. Greetings to Jose Dominguez as well.
Hey, how are you?
What is Pepe doing? Greetings.
Very good, greetings.
Says Mauro. And God gives you in the shade. He says it's a big danger. Well, yes, God gives you. And my godfather, super hidden.
Exactly. Well, listen, we keep reporting. We'll be back later in another short broadcast like this one, and we'll see each other at night. Well, so we can have a long and relaxed chat in the long broadcast every night with a nice conversation there with all of you. Thank you so much for joining us for this little while. We'll see you in a little bit. See you soon.
Bye.